Today, we delve into the life of a serial killer whose gruesome acts echo the infamy of Jeffrey Dahmer, the man whose heinous crimes sent shockwaves through society. In the late 1970s, Sacramento, California, was gripped by a paralyzing fear due to the heinous acts of Richard Trenton Chase, later known as the Vampire of Sacramento. Chase didn't start out on a path to notoriety. However, his mental health deteriorated in his late teens and early 20s, leading to episodes of hypochondria and increasingly bizarre behavior. His interactions with others grew disconcerting as he developed an obsession with rabbits, specifically consuming their blood. By the mid-1970s, Chase's delusions had completely embraced vampire myths, convincing him that his survival depended on drinking blood. His evolution from a troubled person to a merciless killer was subtle yet unavoidable. On December 29, 1977, 28-year-old Chase began his killing spree, killing Ambrose Griffin, a 51-year-old engineer and father of two. Griffin was helping his wife bring groceries into their home when tragedy struck. Without provocation or known motive, Chase committed a drive-by shooting, fatally wounding Griffin. The event seemed random, lacking any clear rhyme or reason, which added to the community's horror and confusion. The killing of Griffin marked the beginning of a terrifying spree that would end with several more lives lost and a city in fear. On January 23, 1978, Chase encountered 22-year-old Teresa Wallin as she was just about to step outside to take out the garbage. At that time, Teresa was 3 months pregnant with her first child, a baby boy. With a .22 caliber pistol in his hand, Chase pointed it at the soon-to-be mother. Teresa dropped the garbage bag and held up her hands to stop Chase from shooting her, but ended up getting shot in the hand, neck, and head, and fell to the ground. After shooting Teresa in the head once again at close range, Chase crouched over her motionless body and pulled her into the house and into the bedroom, leaving a trail of blood in his wake. After sexually assaulting Teresa's corpse, Chase went to the kitchen to get a knife and repeatedly stabbed her. Chase then cut open her torso and removed a number of her organs. After that, he collected her blood in a bucket and used it as a bath and painted the walls with it. But Chase was not done yet. He continued to cut off one of her nipples and drink her blood. Before leaving, Chase collected dog feces from the yard and returned to put them in Teresa's mouth and throat before fleeing the scene. 4 days later, on January 27th, Chase broke into the home of Evelyn Myrath, 38, who was watching her nephew David, who was 1 year old at the time. Also present at the house were Evelyn's 6-year-old son Jason and her good friend Dan Meredith. Evelyn was taking a bath upstairs while Dan watched the kids downstairs. When Dan went into the hallway, he encountered Chase, who had just entered the house and was shot at point-blank range. Startled by the noise, Jason tried to hide in his mom's bedroom but was cut short by Chase, who shot him in the head, instantly killing him. Also, little David was shot and killed. Chase then continued his way upstairs, where he burst into the bathroom and fatally shot Evelyn in the head. He then dragged her dead body out of the bathtub and onto the bed, where he had sex with it. While doing so, he cut her in the back of the neck and drank the blood from the cuts. When he was done, he stabbed Evelyn's dead body 6 times in the anus and other places. He cut her body open, took out a few parts, and began drinking her blood again. But the most horrendous acts were yet to come. When Chase was done with Evelyn, he went to get little David's dead body, cut open his head, and started eating parts of his brain. He finally left the house with David's body and continued to eat the body before dumping the lifeless child at a nearby church. The law finally caught up with Chase when a witness saw him leaving the scene, and the vehicle description led back to Chase. In his apartment, investigators found the gruesome evidence of his crimes: blood-stained blenders, utensils, and the remains of his victims' body parts. The extent of his insanity was laid bare for the world to see. His trial made as many headlines as his crimes. The defense argued insanity, detailing his history of mental illness and disturbing obsessions. Nevertheless, the jury found him guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to die in the gas chamber. On December 28, 1980, the Vampire of Sacramento decided to end his own life instead by overdosing on stockpiled antidepressant pills he had been saving for the occasion. While Richard Chase and Jeffrey Dahmer are remembered for their horrible crimes, they are also harrowing reminders of the darkest parts of the human mind, where uncontrollable urges blur the lines between man and monster, leaving a lasting mark on history.